Thank you, Shirley, for the introduction. And again, I guess we had lots of information. Peace building, digital, peace building, cyber security, lots of information. Let's see some nice picture. Well,
sorry, can I just say, part of the session is actually Roy-Stanley at the back as well.
Roy, would you like to join me?
Thank you.
So, as you may know, as Rotarians, we have the 7 areas of focus, and one of our areas of focus is the peace building and conflict prevention. Well, Rotary International has been partnering with Institute for Economics and Peace since, let's say, 2017, and they started this strategic partnership. Well, actually, the Rotary and the IEP partnership capitalized on the research and the attitudes, the institutions that the IEP does. The structure is set. Also, for more peaceful societies, also the Rotary's grassroots experience communities around the globe. So, the focus of the partnership is for the positive peace itself. Through education and community-based programming, the partners hope to bring together the work for each organization in a way that enhances and adds value to the field of peace and conflict prevention. So let's say that specifically this strategic partnership will reinforce and enhance works in Rotary's 7 areas of focus, particularly in peace and conflict prevention, by applying positive peace, will educate and empower Rotarians to apply their experience and expertise to mobilize communities to address the underlying causes of conflict, and finally to convey a strong message about the importance of positive peace in communities around the world. So, quickly, let's say what's the difference between the negative peace and the positive peace. The negative peace is the absence of violence, of the fear of violence from war, from crime, etc. But the positive peace is much more than that. Positive peace describes the attitudes, the structure, and institutions that underpin and sustain peaceful society. Positive peace is the presence of something good, like education, sustainable resources, human capital, functioning of government. This is the difference. Actually, negative and positive peace are like distinct. They're different a little bit, but interconnected. So, we, in the ICC Intercountry Committee, we have been building the understanding and the peace among people from different parts of the world. With our simple structure and flexibility, we had created strong ties between partnering countries and built networks between people from different parts of the world. We consider ourselves ambassadors. We are the ambassadors, where we can unite people together. We create virtual embassy in other countries. We offer natural forum, like we're doing now, for dialogue between different cultures. We provide concrete assistance to communities. Let's give you some examples of what we're doing. Poland-Ukraine Inter-Country Committee, what did they do? They organized a summer camp for children affected by the war. In addition to the activities and fields of trips, the campers received counseling to help deal with what they're affected by from the war, the trauma, actually. Another example is with the ICC Belux Ukraine, where they have invited 4 musicians from Ukraine and another 4 from Russia to get together and make a concert. And everything was like covered by the ICC of Ukraine, Russia, because there is an ICC, Ukraine, Russia. There is a section there. Another very important ICC cooperation is between India and Pakistan. It was chartered 2019. This committee has been active since then, and they're promoting contacts between Rotarians and Rotor actors. Recently, 15 Rotor clubs, pairs, were matched, 1 from each country. The match pairs having joint meetings, discussions, discussing peace and conflict resolution in general. We at the ICC were trying to promote our positive peace through the different events that we do, actually. Let's go some of them. Well, actually, back in 2024, in May, we had the UNESCO Day, the Rotary International Conference at the UNESCO, where we had a brilliant gathering of the ICC there, and underscoring the joint contribution to peace, education, and sustainable development. In London, also in February 2024, we had the ICC meeting, conference before the presidential conference, and together with the Rotary International President, we did some very important achievements. If you remember, my dear friends who attended this in London, actually we and the Rotary and Plastic Soup signed a memorandum of understanding to mobilize a large network of Rotary. We also celebrated the Rotary International Committee partnership with My Body is My Body. You've seen the movie during James Onion's work. In 2023, actually, it was a gathering for the Peace Forum in the Mediterranean. It was in Rome, and we have focused on intercultural dialogue, cooperation for peace in the Mediterranean area. And before that, we had also the Peace Conference in Lille, where we had 2 Nobel Peace Prizes receivers attending the conference with us. We had also a very interesting, the first African Peace Forum, ICC Peace Forum. It was the idea, of course, of Anne-Marie to start our ICC Peace Forum for Africa in Egypt, in Cairo. It was like a nice gathering with our friends from all over the world. Lovely photo behind in front of the pyramid. Well, actually, in this forum, we promoted positive peace, we enhanced cultural exchange, we fostered mutual understanding, we did the ICC mapping, and we forged a unified vision for our ICC community. We had interesting panel discussions with peace builders from the Career University. We have the Peace Center at the Makerere University in Uganda. And we had the IEP presenting the pillars of positive peace and engaging Rotarians. We had also excellent speakers and Rotary International leaders exemplifying our role as Rotarians in peace building everywhere in the world. We had also the MBBI, the Mediators Beyond Borders International, and they did really a very interesting workshop. We had also a session for the role of technology and AI, artificial intelligence in peace building. We also signed lots of ICC agreements on that. We had a very interesting session for the Red Crescent and the effort in this area. We have visited the Red Crescent itself and saw all the supplies that go into Gaza region. And then we promoted where we are now, in Cape Town. In Istanbul last February, we had the Rotary International Presidential Peace Conference. It was last February, and we had also an interesting meeting for the ICC. And we're going to have another interesting meeting in Calgary before the convention. That's why I'm trying to invite you to promote. Please come to Calgary as well. You're going to love it there. We have a very interesting zone institute meetings. For 10 zones is going to happen in Brussels in September. Our zone 22 and zone 21 and another 8 zones from Europe. We are all going to gather in the Fusion in Brussels in September, 25th to 28th of September, and we're going to have also an ICC meeting there. Another very interesting meeting is going to happen in Greece, and this is going to be in November. I would like to invite you, my dear friends, to join us there. Athens is a beautiful city. We're going to have lots of fun there. Thank you so much for your time. I would like to invite my dear friend and colleague Roy, who is going to exercise with us what is really positive peace.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Roy.
Okay, so thank you very much, Abdul. Amazing and exciting things happening with ICC. So allow me to formally introduce Roy-Stanley Chijioke Nwafor. I hope I said that correctly. He hails from Abuja in Nigeria. Roy is a chartered accountant and tax administrator, certified auditor, financial analyst, and a global peace ambassador. During his professional career, he's learned to effectively handle projects simultaneously, solve problems, and work independently, as well as in a team. A well-grounded advocate for positive peace building, and has been conferred with the title of a Peace Ambassador and Positive Peace Activator under the banner of Rotary International. Please welcome to the stage, Roy-Stanley. Thank you, Roy.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a human being. It's good to be here. I just want to commend Anne-Marie and the organizers of this program. This is my first time being in South Africa, and I'm happy.
Welcome.
Thank you. Speakers who have spoken before me, very, very inspiring, seeing global peace builders all over the room. I'm very inspired, very inspired. So without wasting much of your time, I'll just do an illustration on the 8 pillars of positive peace. I'm going to call on my friend, Arno, who's going to be holding the system. I wouldn't want to repeat what other speakers have said. So I do my presentation with an illustration. Please clap for Arno. Clap for him, please. So Arno, you're the system. You're going to stay in the middle as a system. Don't just forward a bit. It's okay. Thank you. I'm going to start with the first pillar, well-functioning government. Please a clap for her. Well-functioning government. We could also call it good governance. Good. The second pillar, sound business environment. A bit of a round of applause for her. The third pillar, equitable distribution of resources. DJ? Probably going to be after her. Sorry, acceptance of the rights of others. Thank you. Yeah, you're just going to be on his side. And that's all for this side. That's the fourth pillar. The fifth pillar. No, it's okay. The four of you here, it's okay. The fifth pillar. Good relationship with our neighbors. The next pillar, free flow of information after Barbara. And the next pillar, high level of human capital. That's the seventh, and the last but not the least, low level of corruption. At that end. All right, so as you can see, these are the 8 pillars of positive peace, stipulated by the Institute for Economics and Peace, Sydney, Australia, and Rotary International. The system, could you step forward a bit? Small, yeah, that's it. He's the system. He represents attitudes, structures, and institutions. And these are the pillars on his side. From a well-functioning government, to a sound business environment, to equitable distribution of resources, to acceptance of the rights of others, to good relationship with our neighbors, free flow of information, high level of human capital, and low level of corruption. So imagine, let's assume that every one of us here represent one country, and this is the system. He's the president, or he's the president and the vice, because he represents the system. Try and close your hands around him. Just your hand, your hand on the heart, your hand on the heart. Something like this. Awesome. Awesome. No, can you shift here a bit? Sorry, could you shift a bit? Shift a bit so you stay in a straight line. Awesome.
Tough teacher.
Awesome. So their hands are closed. Let's assume things are going well. Let me start with well-functioning government. He talks about good governance. And the first pillar of positive peace, the well-functioning government, can be applied in your house, in your family, in your institution, at your working place. Because good governance is very key, even in politics or without politics. I forgot to mention, as a chartered accountant, I also have a degree in international diplomacy. So that is what brought me together as a financial peace and security consultant. So, the next pillar, sound business environment, creating an enabling environment for the economy. How many countries in Africa are creating an enabling environment for every one of us? It's poor. Equitable distribution of resources. Where's the fairness? Where's the diversity? Where's the equity? Where's the inclusion? The next one. The next one is acceptance of the rights of others. Do people really have freedom of human rights? Someone said freedom of speech, I can guarantee, but freedom of the speech, I can guarantee. Who said that? Can someone remember? You don't remember? Nobody remembers? Freedom of speech, I guarantee. Freedom after speech, I do not guarantee. You don't want to mention his name? Okay, it's okay. I'll mention it. It's Saddam Hussein. Yeah. So we should. That's on the substance of the rights of human rights. The next pillar: good relationship with our neighbors. To Africans, do we really love one another? Before we talk about having good relationship. The next, what are we talking about? Free flow of information. Haters everywhere, disinformation everywhere, misinformation everywhere. The media, I don't know if they're helping issues. We're talking about the next one. What's that? High level of human capital. Do we have access to as little as education, healthcare? I'm talking about Africa in general and the world at large. But mainly in Africa, we don't. And the last, low level of corruption, also they call integrity. Do we have integrity?
Only Rotarians.
Only Rotarians. Okay. Okay. Well, Rotarians are human beings. If you notice, before I started, I said I'm a human being. And as a human, I have attitudes, I have behavioral issues. So, right now, the interesting part of this illustration comes now. So, for instance, I'm a consultant. I whisper to you, my global leader, make sure the system doesn't work. Hold her down, hold the good relationship down, hold high level of human capital down. Make sure they don't move a step. I've had that meeting with you privately. I've also had a meeting with you integrity. Make sure they don't move this and this. So I'm going to whisper to the two of you to try and move. And you hold them down. You hold them down. Same thing applies to you. Well-functioning government, hold on. Well-functioning government, make sure the system doesn't move. He's going to try to move forward. Make sure he doesn't move. We've had that private chat. You, VJ, make sure a sound business environment and acceptance of the rights of others don't move. Okay. So I'll just count 1, 2, 3. I will just try a little illustration by moving forward. And the people I've told not to make them move, hold them down. 1, 2, 3. It's okay. It's okay. A peaceful Africa is indeed possible. That's addressing the root causes. If these 8 pillars are working so well, efficiently, effectively, trust me, the world will be a better place. Africa will be a better place. The world will be a better place. The war between Ukraine and Russia would have ended. The war between Israel and Hamas would have ended. The violence in Congo would have ended. What we're facing in the Sahel now is no longer peacekeeping, it's peace enforcement. That's what the African Union is doing. I'm also an election observer with the African Union. What they're doing right now is peace enforcement at the Sahel. It's really unfortunate, but they are no longer peacekeeping. So, with this beautiful illustration, I want to tell you guys to move forward together in unionism. How's it like? How's it like?
Good vibes. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, it's easy.
It's great. So there was no one sabotaging the system. There's no private consultant negatively telling them to do otherwise. They are working together to support the system, to support the country, irrespective to their colors, to their tribe, to their religion. So I urge every one of us to please learn to love, trust, tolerate one another, and the world will be a better place.
Yes.
The world will be a better place. As a positive peace activator, West and Central Africa 2021, we're one of the pioneers. I want to thank every one of you who have spoken so well on peace, and everyone here who's in the line of promoting positive peace. That the 8 pillars are very key and should be used anywhere we find ourselves. I've visited my president even before the presidential election. Out of the 4 major contenders, I visited 3 of them, and they assured me that they were going to work with this. But you know, they can assure you, they're politicians. Like my old man, they're politicians, so I don't believe them. They see me as a technocrat. Like, I'm not joining any political party. But when I want access to them, I get access to them. I tell them, we have pictures on the internet where I brought you Broke Peace in the Age of Chaos, written by Steve Kalele, my mentor. That's the founder of the IEP. And I gave you this book with the 8 pillars. This is demonstration with you. What's happening? Just follow it. And the world, the country will be a better place. It will reduce the root causes of conflict, it will reduce violence. And there are various activators court, wherever we find ourselves. Asia court, Europe court, there's so many of them. So if you want to join in, hit up on us and trust me, you'll be there.